What's up, guys? I am on my Titan, and we are here to talk about Titan exotics. Um, One of the first exotics you will have access to as a new player into the game is going to be from this quest, and it's probably one of the better exotics for a Titan to get. We'll go down here. The quest is called Exalting the Flame. It's a free exotic. All you have to do is get some solar kills, and then eventually you'll get to the final step to where you get the exotic. All you have to do is go complete Lost Sector Skydot 4 in the EDZ, and that is where we're headed. So, you're a new player, you picked the Titan. This is a public event. They obviously did not want to do a heroic public event. If you go in and unlock each of these shields that were around, you unlock the heroic public event, and you get some better loot. Don't know how much better it is because I don't really do the public events anymore. But we'll keep pushing through to our objective. He's gonna shoot him. Go down here. And pro tip: if you have a quest that you're trying to track, you can go to that quest and click it. Either hit A on the Xbox, or if you're on PlayStation, I believe it's X. Whatever button pops up for track, you want to hit that button, and it'll give you a waypoint to your objective. And that's for any kind of quest you're doing. So make sure you're doing that as you go through and you're playing the game as a new player, because it can be a little confusing on where to go next at times. You see a little exotic pop up, engram. That's leading us to the end of the lost sector here. And lost sectors are not as big as a dungeon. They are not raids. They are just quick little activities that you can unlock loot with. And they show up on your map, and depending on where you're at, the lost sector icon is going to look like this right here. Right now we're over here doing Skydock 4. So this is where we're at, and that's the little icon for the lost sector. And remember, you're not invincible. The game doesn't stop when you go to your screens. So if you stop like I did, make sure you're in some kind of cover. And make sure you got some kind of health to fall back on, whether it's a shield or whether it's a anything that can keep you alive while you look in your screen. Now we're going to continue. And we're just going to try and take these guys out. As quickly as possible. Where are you at? Oh, he's hiding. Alright. Just clear the room. And that's it. The lost sector is cleared. The chest is open. And you can now collect your loot. Now all we do is we go to aquire and the tower. So when I go to the tower, if I have to go to that side of the tower, I won't go to this one. I'll come over here and I'll go to the annex. The annex will bring you a little bit, I guess, closer. It's more of a curvy path than all this over here, because you got to go through the tower, cut through here, go down the stairs, turn, and then you're here. Whereas this, you go up some stairs and then you're right there. So I'll show you that right now. And we're gonna get our exotic that we earned from Ikora. Make sure you have room as well for whatever exotic you're unlocking or acquiring. Same thing on your weapons. Always make sure you have room on your weapons before you try and get an exotic. You won't lose it. It'll go to your postmaster, but if you want to, start using it right away, you want to have some space for it. While we wait to load in, there was an update from a lot of YouTubers and content creators regarding Edge of Fate. A lot of them got to go into Bungie headquarters and play a early stage of the DLC. It's not a final say, but it is. It was at a point where they could actually get in and see what is available in the DLC that's coming out, and they were allowed to kind of give some feedback, and a lot of creators did some videos where they did an interview with Tyson Green, and they all asked pretty different questions. The question was asked about the subclass, if there was another subclass coming at all. They of course did not say anything. They also asked about the what was it? It was just random questions that the community's been asking. I watched a couple different ones. I watched Mactic's. His was really good. And I suggest you go to his channel and check out his video. I don't want to give too much information that they went over and questions that they asked, but I mean, both videos that I watched were good. The other video I watched was from Scaro9, I believe. I watched this earlier today, a little bit after I got up. Yeah, Scaro9. He also was with Cactus HD and Fallout Plays, and they all kind of tag team questions with Tyson. And they were more focused on story. They were really good about asking the question of why should older players or returning players come into back into the Edge of Fate. What is there that's going to bring them in? What's going to make them want to come in and play? I thought that was a really good question, mostly because that's kind of what I'm focused on right now with my videos is, I'm trying to get you guys the information that they don't give y'all. So let's go get the exotic. But yeah, so they asked that question, and the biggest thing that he gave was, they're working on making the game more new player friendly. It's not going to be right away in the Edge of Fate, but that is a goal they are working on. So, if you come in the Edge of Fate, you're going to come into newly reworked armor, newly reworked weapons. There's going to be a new learning curve, more than what there is right now, and not more as in it's going to be harder, but more as in they're taking a step back and trying to make things easier for the new player. So that's here to come. Probably in the future they'll release a video going over that. So here we are at Ikora. There is our exotic we worked to get. Like I said, the first part is you get solar kills. The second part was that lost sector. Now we have syntheseps, and now they want us to equip the solar subclass and exotic armor. So we're gonna go in and do that to finish the quest. We're gonna take this off. We're gonna delete this. Anything extra that you have that you don't need or you're not gonna use, delete it. Excuse me. For some reason, I have hiccups every time I come in here. And that was my clan banner updating. I suggest you find a clan to get into so you have more people and more access to people to play with. I'm fortunate enough to be in a clan that a very well-known content creator and streamer created for new players. So my hope was not to leech or do anything with his clan, but I want to get in there and help new players or people who aren't familiar with the game and just find out more information on, you know, if there is people that really are new to the game. You know, what are you looking for help on? What can I help you with? You know, I'm not really trying to smurf or anything. I'm really trying to make content for a new player with a new account and myself being a new account, and just, you know, grinding and earning the gear that we need to earn. But we'll continue, because we're gonna have a lengthy section of going over the exotics I recommend and you know, kind of suggest for you to get for a Titan. So we're gonna equip this. Syntheseps is going to be when you're surrounded, gain increased melee and super damage, as well as improved weapon handling and reload speed. So what that means is any kind of melee you do, melee ability, consecration is like the ability to use for Titan. So we are going to get consecration, and we are going to make sure, you know, we have some stuff that goes with consecration. We got hammer strike, or we can do throwing hammer. It looks like they both have the same cooldown. We have healing nade for healing, and then we have towering barricade. I'm gonna switch to rally, and then strafe lift is what I usually use on my Titan. Once you have all your fragments unlocked, you kind of want to build your fragments to what you're trying to do. What we're trying to do is we're using melee, so let's make sure we have abilities that focus on using melee. Ember of Torches helps with melee attacks against combatants, and when you power melee them, you and nearby allies become radiant. So that's what that does. If you look at consecration, it will scorch and ignite. So we want to look for keywords like scorch and ignite when we select. So solar ignitions have increased area effect. So as we scorch more, the target will ignite. This will help with ignitions from that. Applying more scorch is going to go towards your ignite, so you get to, in theory, ignite faster because the stacks go up quicker. And then rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions will generate a orb of power. So this is a very basic consecration melee solar build. And then of course we'll go with the hammers instead of burning them all. Hammers, you just throw hammers and you blow stuff up with your hammers. So now that it's equipped, we're going to go in and see what we need to do for the next mission. We're not going to do the mission, we're going to go look at exotics, but this is just kind of the quest line for as you go. The final step is doing the arms dealer, and that arms dealer is going to be a strike. This will also be on EDZ. It's right here, and you go through, do that, and then you get the weapon that it says you will get in the quest. So that's just a quick rundown of, how to get this unlocked. It's a free exotic, and when I say free, you're going to see why when we go into this screen. If you've stuck around to this 15-minute mark, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. What we're going to do now is we're going to go through the Titan exotics that are available in game today, as of today, June 4th, 2025. So we're going to make our way back here. When you load in where Remix is right here. I don't know him. He is a God Slayer, so he's obviously not a new player. But you load in right here, and from here you're going to go to Rahul. And this is what I did when I went over Hunter exotics. As I spoke about in my Hunter video, you can gamble and roll for armor and just pick it up here. Or you can level up and unlock this rank 17. As you unlock it, you unlock the ability to grab this right here. So we are going to grab that. Perfect. But the reason you want to hold on to your exotic engrams is what I'm about to show you. You're going to come in here, go to the very last page. If you do not have the last page, you have not raised your rank up enough with the Cryptarch Master Rahul. So what you need to do is you need to play the game and unlock more engrams, drops. Just keep playing the game till you start getting prime engrams. You want to save those prime engrams, or you can use them right away. The normal legendary engram will not work as fast as a prime or a exotic. That's why I leveled up right away, because I did a prime engram. That will raise your rank faster. So we have now prestiged for the 4th time, and every prestige we complete, we get another of these ciphers. So that is your loop of unlocking exotics. So you want to come over here to this last page. Now that we have an exotic cipher and we have an exotic engram, I can easily show you how to use those. And really, you want to be working for exotic engrams and ciphers as a new player, just because the exotic armor is going to be what you're going to build your builds from. We just unlocked the Syntheseps. As I was saying, this is really good for melee abilities. Being surrounded and using your melee abilities, it'll be stronger. So that's one you want to automatically get and finish the mission for when you're a Titan. Another one, just for traversing, and just because there's a lot of random jumping and stuff, sometimes you don't get high enough, or you don't have enough space because you're using your jump too much. You can use Lion Rampants. They're like little boot jets that help you move further and last longer in the air. So those are good for traversing if you've gotten all of the stuff you want to get. Peacekeepers are really good for SMGs. What they do is, while wielding a submachine gun, handling, airborne effectiveness, and movement are all improved, and damage against combatants will increase the longer you remain on target. So it's really good with machine guns and submachine guns. Barrel Dyad is a submachine gun that is currently available. If you get to the point in the season where you can unlock it and you have it, it'll help that. It'll also help with just your base legendary SMGs and other exotic SMGs like the Huckleberry. If you've gotten the Huckleberry, just there's a lot of different exotic SMGs you can combo with for that. The ACDO feedback fence you can use in a melee, but it's not gonna be as good as Syntheseps. Actium War Rig reloads your auto rifles and machine guns automatically. It's a slow reload. It's not like an automatic reload, but it's a slow reload. Crest of Alpha Lupi gives you more orbs, and then when you use your barricade, you get like a small heal, so you can use that. So Insurmountable Skull Fort, if you're on an arc, you're not going to be using anything but armor piece that's further down. So for an arc subclass, I would not use this unless you really want to. But I would not go for that one. I will show you the arc exotic armor piece you need to have, and the one I'm going to grab immediately when we get down there. Helm of Saint 14 is for Void Titans. Your Ward of Dawn blinds and grants bonus weapon damage. So looks like Saint 14, one of the NPCs in the game. And then, like I said, allies that pass through gain a weapon damage boost. Guarding with Sentinel Shield blinds nearby targets. So if you're using the Sentinel Shield instead of the bubble, you guard and you can blind nearby targets. And then Sentinel Shield being where you're like Captain America and just, swinging and dodging across the field. From there, we go to Worm God Caress. Is like a less good Syntheseps. Every melee kill just increases melee damage. Armamentarium is good because you can have 2 grenades. So if you want double grenades or the ability to have, an additional grenade, there's certain reasons to have it, but it's not something that I get right away. Heart of Inmost Light is good for using an ability, and it improves your other abilities. And then Empowered means abilities have faster regen, melee and grenades do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. So when you use an ability, it empowers your other abilities. And we're going to go to the next. From there, we got, let's see. A lot of these are just niche exotics for the Titan, but there's only certain ones that I'm going to call out that are really good. The one I'm going to get is this one right here, the Cuirass of the Falling Star. So what this does is it increases your Thunder Crash damage, grants you damage resistance after impact, and then your melee final blows, while amplified, it grants super energy. So this is like the Titan exotic to use, because if we go to our Titan and we go to Prismatic Titan, guess what we got? We got Thunder Crash as a Prismatic Titan. So if you're not running Twilight Arsenals, which is really good, or Glacial Quake, which is good in some instances, or Blade Fury, which is good with Syntheseps, you're going to be running Thunder Crash. And Thunder Crash is just a super powerful ability. A lot of people use it for damage rotations, and that's just the go-to. And if we go back and read it, melee final blows while amplified grant super energy. And if you think about it, while you are in Transcendence, you are becoming amplified, as well as you are, if you're spec'd into it, you're becoming Radiant. So you're just getting your super energy back very fast to use another Thunder Crash as you're in your Transcendence. So it's really good for Transcendence and DPS phases, or just trying to clear rooms fast. It's a very, very, very killer combo. And I'll buy that once we're done talking about these last few exotics. No backup plans is good if you're like shotguns, as you are in a void subclass or you have a void super. Rapid shotgun final blows, or defeating a powerful combatant with a shotgun will grant a void overshield and start health regeneration. And then while you have the overshield, your shotguns deal additional damage, and shotgun final blows refresh the overshield. It provides a moderate benefit to shotgun airborne effectiveness and reload speed. So if you are someone that likes using shotguns on a Titan and you like using void subclasses, this is the go-to. If I didn't already have this, I'd probably be going with no backup plans. Or if I didn't need this, I mean, I would be going for that. And I'm really sorry if you made it to the 15-minute mark and now you're at the 26-minute mark. Thank you again. We're almost done. There's just a lot to go through with a Titan because there's just specific things that you want to unlock for a Titan, and no backup plans. Cuirass of the Falling Star, Helm of Saint 14, Syntheseps, either Heart of Inmost Light, Crest of Alpha Lupi. I messed up. I did not mean to click that. Oh no. Okay, well, we win some, we lose some. I did not mean to do that. I meant to right click to go into it. Well, yeah. That just happened. Alright, well, anyways, that means we just gotta end the video. These other exotics down here have come out in the new DLCs. The only thing I'd really suggest getting is Pyrogale Gauntlets. It makes your Burning Maul ability do one and done, and it just has a cyclone that comes from it. Hazardous Propulsion is good for rocket sidearms and rockets, so you can get that too. I can't believe I screwed that up. Alright, well, that's the Titan exotics. I guess we're gonna play the gambling. Let's see if we can get a chess piece for Thunder Crush. It's a chess piece. That's not bad. That's not bad. Can we do it again? It's another chess piece, but it's not what we needed. I can't believe I did that. But anyways, that's how you unlock exotics, and that's what you need. You need to get to this last page. Make sure you have exotic engrams. Make sure you have an exotic cipher, and then you get to pick any exotic you want. And sometimes it's not the exotic you want, but it's the exotic you just might need at the time. So we're gonna go make something work with what we got. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see y'all on my Warlock video, and we'll go from there. But anyways, leave a comment, leave a like, give me a follow, and I'll see you out there, guys.